This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace makes it easy for you to create a beautiful website so you can stand out and succeed online, but more on them later. Grand Seiko sits in a pretty unique place in the current watchmaking landscape. Launched in 1960, they are best known for beautiful dials inspired by nature, Zaratsu polishing, and being technically ambitious, creating movement innovations like the spring drive. They became independent from Seiko in 2017, and around this time, I feel like I used to hear about them a lot. I feel like every other video I would watch would be about Grand Seiko. But in recent years, it feels like this has kinda cooled off, and the excitement around them has dampened. Before we talk about some of the big problems I see with them, I need to make it clear, I say this all as someone who loves Grand Seiko. This isn't a hatchet job, I deeply love this brand, and if money is right, I will probably buy a Grand Seiko in 2026. It is because I love them that I want to do a full SWOT analysis. I really believe that Grand Seiko could become a household name, beyond enthusiasts, if they play their cards right. I feel like Grand Seiko's core strengths, meticulous finishing, unique movements, tasteful designs, are also the factors that create the brand's biggest challenge. They don't automatically create broad aspirational buzz. In an era where storytelling, influencers, and product theater drives discovery, Grand Seiko opts for quiet excellence. There's no need to shout from the top of the tower, the product does the talking. This is something a lot of my favorite watchmakers do. Parmigiani Fleurier, Chopard, Vacheron Constantin, Piaget. But I think the problem with Grand Seiko doing this is with the Seiko name attached to them. For a lot of non-watch people, when they hear the name Seiko, the rest of the dialogue is going to shut down. It doesn't matter how high quality the watch is. They're now thinking about Seiko, and that just doesn't give them the razzle-dazzle they're looking for. I want to make it clear that I don't agree with these people. I think it's snobbery, but I don't think it's intentional snobbery. I think it's this subconscious thing that humans just do. In the same way Volkswagen Group wants to put separation between Skoda and Porsche, Seat and Bentley. It's a lot easier to manage independent brand perceptions when their divide is quite clear. Grand Seiko won't ever change their name, and I really understand it, but it will be a perception obstacle. Let's zoom in on the product. I would describe Grand Seiko's as very Japanese, restrained aesthetic, nothing too flashy, and executed to a high degree. I think of Grand Seiko's finishing, Zaratsu polishing, crisp bevels, insane dials. They are genuinely beautiful watches. But for me, personally, there's always just a little something missing. It's a little bit of personality. They are so inoffensive and perfect that a certain something is missing. It's like going on a date with someone, and on paper, they're perfect. On paper, it should work. But for some weird reason, the chemistry isn't there. But it should be there, but it's not there. So if I asked you to close your eyes and picture a Grand Seiko, what comes to mind? For me, it's a titanium case and bracelet, spring drive movement with power reserve indicator, sharp Zaratsu polished hands, and a cool dial. I'm really just describing the Snowflake SPGA 211, which I would also describe as the most quintessential Grand Seiko model. So that makes sense. The thing is, to the untrained eye, a lot of their models look the same, but with a different dial. To us, watch geeks, we can spot all the differences. We know the difference between the Heritage handset and the Evolution 9 and the spring drive versus high beat, but most people won't see the subtle nuances that we see. And there is a lot of confusion with these pretty similar designs. The case looks the same, layout, handset, just different dials. If you look at their catalog, they have mastered the go anywhere, do anything style, classic case shapes. On bracelet, the Elegance collection is their dress watch offering, and sports collection being their, sports and tool watches. I think another big pitfall the brand is facing is not having a compelling hero product sports watch. I mean, I'm a dress watch lover, but in reality, tool watches, sports watches are the bread and butter for most brands. Rolex is the Submariner, Omega is the Seamaster, Breitling is the Navitimer, and IWC is the Big Pilot. They have a hero product. It has a strong identity. Grand Seiko and the Snowflake is still pretty punchy, but I think they need a defining, compelling tool watch. Do you have a website? I have a website. I have an awesome website. I love it so much. Like Grand Seiko needs a compelling tool watch. If you're doing anything online, offline, whatever you're doing, you need a compelling website. And this is where today's fabulous video sponsor, Squarespace, comes in. But I don't know how to make a website, Brittany. Almost no one does. That's why Squarespace has a complete library of professionally designed website templates with options for whatever you are doing. You just have to select your favorite template, plug in your information, and bam, you're in business. You can also use their Blueprint AI, just giving a few prompts and let them do all the heavy lifting from there. Whichever option you do, your website is still very customizable, drag and drop, change things up, bam. Squarespace also helps your website get found with their integrated SEO tools. Every website is optimized with meta descriptions, all that fun stuff I don't know how to do, so you show up on search engines more often. Honestly, real talk, it's just me and you right now. I have partnered with Squarespace for a while, and that's because I genuinely love what they're doing, and it's provided so much value for myself and my online business. This is how people find me. It's how brands reach out. And at the bare minimum, it makes me look kind of more professional than I actually am. If you want to try them out, head to squarespace.com/BritPierce for a free trial. And then when you are ready to launch, use the BritPierce code to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Love Squarespace, they're awesome, and thank you so much for sponsoring this video. I mean, it's been the story of these last few years. Price increases. The trend in general seems to be premiumization. I think the markets are tough right now. People aren't choosing to spend their money on watches, so brands are squeezing those who are to make up for the declining interest. And this is not just Grand Seiko. This is across the board. It's every brand. The thing is, when times are tough, they raise prices. And when times are good, they raise prices. Final problem, and this is something that has actively kept me away from buying a GS, the bracelets. When you keep the price in mind, I think it's okay to expect well thought through bracelets with features like on-the-fly micro adjust. I always felt like the dial, movement, case shape were so well thought through, and the bracelet felt like a bit of an afterthought. People always make fun of me in the comment section for scrutinizing bracelets. Just throw it on a strap, put it on a nice strap, who cares, you won't even notice. But a part of the price is the bracelet. The amount of titanium or whatever material went into it, the design, the clasp. I think it's okay to expect it to be quite right when we're talking about £7,000 plus. Whenever I make these styles of videos, I just talk about problems and not enough solutions. So I want to explore what I think they should be doing or what I would do if I was at the helm of Grand Seiko for this video. I said it at the beginning, I think a lot of their greatest downfalls and their greatest problems are also the things that make them so unique and so special. I think they need to identify their strengths and lean into them. As I said before, Grand Seiko is meticulous finishing, unique movements, tasteful designs. And I think this is where Grand Seiko feels clinical and cold. Why do consumers care about meticulous finishing, cool designs, good movements? Because of the humans who made them, because of the brilliant artisans, craftspeople, the people who made them. It's a human story. Maybe talking less about technical specifications, but tell why those hands, that dial, this movement creation matters. Watches are the marriage of humans, timekeeping, and engineering. To remove the human element removes the heart and soul. And this is why people love Rolex so much. They have masterfully partnered with the right brand ambassadors that tell the story of Rolex. Maybe bringing on stronger brand partners, collaborators, cultural figures, even niche luxury houses that reflect Japanese aesthetic. This is the thing that makes Seiko and Grand Seiko so deeply charming. Lean into it. Lean into it all the way. A lot of people buy a Grand Seiko because they are no hype. They are humbly and quietly exceptional. The finishing is above and beyond mechanical uniqueness and prioritizing accuracy and distinctly Japanese. not Swiss. This isn't about a brand logo. It's about a quality product. And I think the shopping experience should also reflect this. Maybe just a little more razzle-dazzle in the showroom. Something to remind you how truly exceptional, beautiful, special this product, this brand is. What's the quote? People will forget the things you said, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel. This is all off the top of the dome here. Maybe they're doing something quite similar already and I don't know, but maybe more hands-on experiences in boutiques. A Zaratsu polishing masterclass. Obviously, they're not going to become master polishers by the end, but it's something experiential, hands-on, and it makes you appreciate this beautiful watch that you have. I think especially in the post-pandemic landscape, in-person events provide a special feeling. I think the end of the world will just be live events, live sports, live music, live things like this, and hipster cafes. It's where things are going towards. This one is quick. Have a compelling sports watch. I know that they do have sports watches in their catalog. I just don't think they're compelling enough. I know it sucks to say, and the dress watch lover inside of me hates saying it, but it is the entry point for most people. Grand Seiko, it's such a tricky one. All of the GS problems serve as their greatest advantages. Quiet craftsmanship, limits instant street level cachet, but that also is what makes them so charming and authentic to collectors. But I think they could keep the serious collectors and appeal to a broader audience with just a few tweaks. But yeah, those are just some of my thoughts. I'd love to know yours in the comments down below. Is there a Grand Seiko problem? Have you bought one? What has kept you from buying one? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for your viewership. Thank you to Squarespace once again for sponsoring this video. Go check them out. Go click that link. And now, thank you to the Pope tier patrons. Oh yeah, frick yeah. Get their names on the screen. Hi guys, I'm never sure about these brand analysis videos. I feel like they always come across as I'm slagging off a brand and I don't mean for them to. I genuinely love Grand Seiko. 2026 will be the year I finally buy one. I said at the beginning, if finances are right. Even if finances aren't right. Let's do it. Lock it in, baby! But this section of the video is supposed to be about you and not my financial irresponsibility. Thank you so much for supporting my weird little channel. Highest tier of patrons are on here right now, the Pope tier patrons, but thank you all tier patrons. I say it all the time. It's true. You genuinely keep this channel going. You keep it a financially viable thing for me to do. So thank you. I hope you keep enjoying the content. I love making it. I hope you keep enjoying it. Okay. Bye guys.